Alright guys, so today I'm going to go over a simple CTF. The point of this isn't to show you how to do every single type of CTF. This is basically just going to show the foundations for it, and then probably like how you'll attack that mentally, the whole thought process behind each CTF. So the one I have right now is at tryhackme.com, and the name of it is Bounty Hacker. I've gone ahead and set up the machine, went ahead and deployed it, so we already have our IP address and everything like that. So yeah, after this is over, don't think that you can just attack any kind of CTF. They're all going to be different in their own different ways. I'm just trying to show you guys like the whole thought process behind it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll read the little description here. You were boasting on and on about your elite hacker skills in the bar, and a few bounty hunters decided to take you up on your claims. Prove your status is more than just a few glasses at the bar. I sense bell peppers and beef in your future. Alright, so the first part, number one, says go ahead and deploy the machine. We already did that, so we have our IP address up here. The next part, find open ports on the machine. So this will probably be your first step in pretty much any CTF, is to run some kind of nmap scan or some kind of port scanner. So do TAC-SC, TAC-SV, and TAC-PN just in case they're going to drop the ping packets, and then we'll put the IP address. Let me make sure that was right. Yep, put the IP address in there, and then we'll run an nmap scan. All right. Like I said, this will be the first thing you do on pretty much any CTF, is to see what ports are open. Sometimes they'll have a web server running on a different port, so you have to specify that if you open up in the browser, rather than just connecting to port 80 or port 443. So once this nmap scan is done, let's see where we're at. It's almost done. Once that's done, we'll be able to find the open ports on the machine, and we'll go ahead and mark that as complete. Alright, sometimes these can take a little while, it just depends on your connection. There we go. Alright, so we'll go ahead and scan this. Anytime you're looking at port scans, you want to see what version of things are running, to see if you can exploit that in any kind of way. You want to see what's actually open. So for right now, we have port 21, port 22, and port 80 are open on this machine. 80 is running a web server, is running Apache. We could look up that version number, see if there's any exploits or anything. I'm kind of curious about port 21, the FTP, because up here it says anonymous FTP login allowed. That's something that shouldn't be allowed. So we'll probably check this out first, just because that seems strange to me. We probably shouldn't. They probably shouldn't have set it up that way. And then also port 22 is open, but it looks like we'll need a login, like username and password. So let's go ahead and try an FTP into this using anonymous credentials. So we'll FTP anonymous. And would you look at that? Login successful. So we just logged in with anonymous credentials. That's not good. So let's see what's around here. So we'll type in directory. So as you can see over here, we have a logs.txt and a task.txt. So let's get those. So get task.txt and then get logs.txt. Alright, we can exit out of that now. And let's read these. So we have cat logs.txt. Oh boy. Well, these look like passwords to me. They look like, yeah, this is probably going to be some kind of password list, because they're all relatively the same, just with different things in it. All of it says like Red Dragon or Syndicate or Red Dragon Syndicate, so I would imagine those are passwords, or I mean they could be usernames too. So I don't know. Let's check out the other thing. What was it? Tasks. Yeah, that's right. So we'll cat task.txt. Number 1, protect the vicious. Number 2, plan for red-eye pickup on the moon. I have no idea what that means. Apparently Lynn wrote this, so that might be a username, and these might be some passwords we can think about. So if you understand this process, you know we're trying to get credentials into the machine or find our way into the machine. Well, if they just gave us a whole list of passwords that we can try, as well as a username, we can go ahead and go for that. So I'll jump back over here. Find the open ports on the machine. We just did that, right? Who wrote the task list? That would be Lynn, who we just found, right? So go ahead and submit that. Then what service can you brute force with the text file found? I would imagine, since anonymous was allowed on FTP, that this is going to be more for SSH. So we'll go ahead and try. First, we'll take these passwords here. Whoa, too far. We'll take these passwords here and make a password list so that we can run in Hydra, which is a brute forcing tool. So nano, what are we going to call this? Say pass list.txt, right? And we'll paste that in, write it out, and then so we already know our username is going to be Lynn, right? Or at least we hope that's it. So we'll go ahead and do Hydra, tac L for login, which would be Lynn, and then tac P for our passwords, which will be passlist.txt, and then we need our IP address because we have to log into it. So paste, and then we're logging in via SSH. So let's let Hydra run and see if we can crack this thing. Oh, look at that, so quick. Alright, so we have a username and password. So let's go ahead and log in via SSH to that. So SSH Lynn at 10.10.83.124. Oops, 4. Yes. And password. Oh, look at that. We are in. Alright, so first thing you want to do when you're in is just look around and see what's on there. So we'll list everything, right? Well, you have a user.txt there, so let's go ahead and cat that. And it looks like we have our user flag right here. Let's go ahead and copy that. What service can you brute force? We found that out was SSH. We have the user's password, which I will paste in there in a second after I do this user flag. User flag is correct. Copy and paste that in. Yep, password is correct. Alright, so now it looks like what we're looking for is a root text. Generally these are found in the root folder. So let's see if we can. Oops. Let's see if that's, yeah, okay. So yeah, generally those are in the root folder. So we'll go ahead and see if we can change directory into root. I figured this would happen. This generally happens anytime you're logged into one of these CTF machines or any machine in general. If you're at a lower level user, you're going to have to find a way to do privilege escalation so that you can get those administrative or root privileges. So speaking of privileges, let's see what we have right now. It's sudo tac-l, password for Lynn. Alright, so user Lynn may run the following commands on Bounty Hacker. So /bin/tar. So if you're not familiar with how this might work, Google can be your best friend. So we will go over here. I don't need that anymore. We can go over here to Google and we can type in tar exploit maybe. Alright, and you can see I've already looked this up before because I was unsure about it myself. I had never heard of this, so I had to educate myself on it. So Google will be your best friend during these CTFs, especially if there's things that you don't know, exploits that you don't know. You can find them all over. It's pretty amazing what you can actually find. So come down here and look for sudo, because that's what we're gonna have to be running is that sudo command. And so we'll try this out and see what happens for us. All right. So it says it runs in privileged context and may be used to access the file system, escalate, or maintain access within elevated privileges if enabled on sudo. Well, we know that bin/tar, we can actually run that sudo command, so this should work according to what that website said. And if this doesn't work, you can try another one. You just keep trying until you get it, basically. So we'll go ahead and run this command. And it looks like we have some kind of shell. So let's see, who am I? Oh, look at that. We got root access, right? So from here, we can change directory into root and list, and we can cat our root, oops, too many O's, .txt. Boom. Look at that. Looks like a flag to me. What do you guys think? So we'll copy and paste that, and let's see. Oh, congratulations. We have successfully completed a CTF. So I hope this kind of helps explain to you guys basically what you're going to be looking for. Usually, like I said, you're starting out with that nmap scan and then going down the list of things. If this FTP didn't work, I would just go down to the next thing. I probably wouldn't try SSH right away just because that's usually secured with credentials. So if that FTP port wasn't working, I would look up the actual web server. I would go onto that web server, see what it had to offer, if there were any exploits, hacks, things like that. If Samba's ever open, be curious about Samba. It's very easy to enumerate things off of that, especially getting credentials. So yeah, I mean, it basically all starts here, and then you just go from there. And if you don't find something, go look for something else. Hope this helped to explain kind of like how most of these things are done. Remember, once you're inside, you're gonna have to look for some kind of privilege escalation. If one way doesn't work, try another way. Use Google. Google is your best friend. It usually references, CVEs and things like that. CVEs are very easy to use because somebody's already put all the code together for you. All you have to do is just copy and paste the code usually. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Be sure to follow us on social media. All the Savage Hat links are on the website itself. Feel free to share with all your friends and on social media. Thanks again, guys.